Hi friends, today I am going to discuss on Spring Boot with RabbitMQ. Before starting watching the video, please subscribe my channel, please share with others. Okay, so let's discuss. Before having a practical implementation, let's discuss what is Spring Boot with RabbitMQ. Okay, RabbitMQ is a software, it's kind of framework which implements active messaging queue protocol to provide a asynchronous way of communication between two services. Suppose consider application 1, app 1 and application 2, app 2. So, application 1 is sending a message to application 2, okay, through queue. Okay. So, this is asynchronous way of communication between application and 1 and application 2. So, what is asynchronous way of communication? Application 1 is sending the message into queue and application 2 is consuming the message from queue and processing it. So, when application 1 send a message into queue, it forgets about the message what it sent. It does not wait for reply from application 2. Okay. So, this is called asynchronous way of communication. So, it does not wait reply for from the application 2. There is another way of communication like synchronous. In synchronous, application send a request to HTTP request to application 2 and it expects the response from application 2 immediately. Okay. This is called as a synchronous. Okay. Let us try to implement Spring Boot with RabbitMQ. Let us start creating a Spring Boot starter project. So, let us give the name as Spring Boot RabbitMQ producer. First, we will create a producer. So, okay. So, let us add a dependency called RabbitMQ and web. So, if you see app 1 which is called as a producer, so which produce the message and send into queue. So, app 2 is called as a consumer, so which consumes the message from the queue and process it. So, here we have created a producer application. So, let us go to pom.xml. You can see the dependency Spring Boot starter AMQP. This is the dependency which is main for this RabbitMQ implementation. Spring Boot starter is for any web application or RESTful service. Okay. So, other than this one we have a Maven plugin. So, we can build the application using Maven and which creates a jar. Okay. Let us start adding the application properties. Okay, I have added a server port as a 8081. Okay. I have already the list of config properties, so which are required for this application. So, Spring RabbitMQ host. This is the local host where RabbitMQ is running in a local. Okay. So, Spring Boot port, it is running in 5672, username is guest and password is guest. So, these are the default username password. So, let me show you if you have not installed RabbitMQ, how to install RabbitMQ in your system. Okay. So, before installing RabbitMQ, you have to install Erlang OTP. This is the dependency software which is required before installing a RabbitMQ. Okay, if you go to erlang.org/download, you can see for Windows we have two installers, one is 64, one is 32. You have to install this one. So, after that you have to go to this website rabbitmq.install windows.html. Here you can see, if you come to the dependency, here it is specified already, Erlang is the supported version, so which is the dependency, and direct downloads you can see RabbitMQ server 3.12.11. You can download this one and you can install. Okay, once you installed, you have to enable the RabbitMQ console management and you have to start the service. Okay, so once the service is started, you have to type 127.0.0.1. 15672 is the default port where RabbitMQ management console is running. If you click on this one, actually it will ask for username password. Username is guest and password is guest by default. Okay, so it will open this page. So let's okay, so if you go to queues and streams, you can see there are no queues added. Okay, let's go to our application. So these are the 4 properties which are required for connecting to a RabbitMQ server. Okay, these are the 3 properties. Let me expand it. Okay, so Spring Boot RabbitMQ exchange.user exchange, these are the custom properties. So we have added, you can give any name user. So I am creating a queue called user queue, so I am giving a user queue. So it should have exchange, queue and routing key. So what is exchange, queue and routing key? So we are sending a message to a topic exchange. So topic exchange is binded to this queue and with a particular routing key. Okay, so it will be a particular queue is binded to particular exchange with routing key. Okay, so this configuration, same configuration we have to add in consumer also. Let's create a RabbitMQ configuration. Okay, so I'll just copy which I have already the configuration. Let me explain you what is the code. Okay, so let me go through this code. So you have to create a class called RabbitMQ config. You have to add a at the rate configuration and at the rate enable rabbit annotations. So you have to import all the properties using a at value annotation. So we have defined the exchange, queue and routing key, right, all these properties in a application property file. So I have given the name, variable name is user topic exchange, user queue and user routing key and I have taken all the port, host, username, password to connect to RabbitMQ server. First we have to create a bean like connection factory, so which where we set the host, port, username, password in the connection factory, so which returns caching connection factory. Okay, so we have to create this bean. So we have to use this bean in a RabbitMQ template. You have to create another bean called Rabbit template. So the method I have given Rabbit local template. So here I am creating a Rabbit template. I am passing a connection factory bean. So and I am setting the message converter, that is producer Jackson to JSON message converter. So here I have created another bean. So this is the method which is returning Jackson to JSON message converter, which is like when the producer send a message into queue, that will be converted in the supported format using this library. Okay, once we add this Rabbit template and message converter and connection factory, so we have to create a topic, and for that topic we have to create a queue and we have to bind the topic with queue and with routing key. Okay, so here I am creating a topic exchange. I have given name as a user topic exchange. So I am creating using new keyword topic exchange. I am passing the user topic exchange which I am defined here, that variable. So the property I am taking from the application property. So same name we are using here to create topic exchange. Once we create topic exchange bean, we have to create a queue, that is user queue. So I am passing the same name what we defined in the application property. Okay, so after that you have to bind that topic with queue. Okay, I am using a binding builder dot bind. I am passing a user queue and user topic exchange along with user routing key. So this is how we create a topic exchange and user queue. I am binding those topic with topic exchange and routing key. Okay, so this is what RabbitMQ configuration. Let's create a service class or a component where we send the message to queue and controller. Okay, let me copy the code I have already created. I will explain you, so no need to worry. So we have Rabbit template which is already defined in the RabbitMQ config, right. So here we have defined Rabbit template bean. So we have to auto wire that Rabbit template here. Once we auto wire that one, so I have created a method called send message where I am receiving the message in the as a parameter. So I am sending the message using a rabbit template, rabbit template dot convert and send. This will accept 3 parameters. One is the topic exchange and routing key and the message what we are going to send. Okay. So, user topic exchange. So, here I am getting the property value using a @value. So, which we define this in application property, and routing key also we define this one in application property. So, here we do not use actually queue name, since the topic exchange is binded to queue with particular routing key. So, which actually sends the message into that particular queue which is binded to this topic exchange with routing key, which makes unique for this one. Okay. So, let us create a controller using this one. We will send a message. Okay. So, controller, if you can see, message controller is a class. We have annotated it with REST controller and have auto wired message sender component. Okay. So, using that one I am calling a send message, I am passing message. So, I am getting the message as a request parameter from the API. Okay. So, /send will send the message and which is calling message sender class, and which sends this message to that send message, and from this send message method we are using a rabbit template and convert and send to send the message into queue. Okay. Let us run this application. So, first let us build this application. I am updating a project. Okay. Let us run the application. So, use clean install command. So, application is built successful. Let us run the application. You guys can see the application started running on 8081 port. Okay. Let us test this application. So, I am sending a message called hello RabbitMQ user. Okay. Let us send this message. You can see reply the message sent hello RabbitMQ user. Okay. So, controller got the message as a request parameter and it send message sender send the message. Okay. So, we are returning message sent, the what message we have got. Okay. So, it is returning whatever we have sent the. Okay. You can see here we are printing in the console message sent and the message. Okay. In the console you can see message sent hello RabbitMQ user. It means message has been sent to the queue. Let's check whether message is sent into queue or not. You can see there was no queue. So now user queue is created with the ready message and total 1. Okay. So since you can see ready and total 1, so ready is 1, it means the message has not been consumed. It is still there in the queue. It is had to be consumed by consumer. Okay. Let's check the message what we have sent. Here you can see the payload, hello RabbitMQ user, right? So this is the message we have sent. Let's try to create a consumer, so which consume the message. Okay. So add the same dependencies. So we have to add a configuration properties. I will add 8082 as a port. So we have to add the same properties here, like the properties related to connection. So these are the properties related to connecting the RabbitMQ server: host, port, username, password, and these are the custom properties where we have adding the topic exchange name and queue name and routing key name. So we have to add the same properties here also. Why we have to add the same properties means to maintain the consistency between two services like producer and consumer, and it makes the contractual integrity between consumer and producer, so that when the producer send the message into queue, it actually it send the message to the particular queue only. From that queue only the consumer has to be consumed. It makes sure it doesn't lost anywhere, like it will not go to some other queue or not consumed by some other queue. Okay. So let's add the consumer class. So okay, before adding the uh, consumer class, we have to add a configuration, right? So RabbitMQ configuration. So same configuration we have to add here in the consumer. Since we are using same properties like use topic exchange and queue and routing key, so we have to use same thing. So to maintain the contractual integrity between the two services. So let's add a message receiver class. So let me explain. So it is having a method called receive message. So where the message is received from this particular queue. Okay. So it is annotated with rabbit listener. So it is listening to the queues we specified here. So user queue is a property which we defined in the application property file. So Spring RabbitMQ queue dot user queue, so which is listening to this queue. Once this application is started, so it start consuming the message from this queue. Okay. So let me start this application. First we will build this application. So build is successful. Let me run. So application is started. You can see, right, started in 8082 port. Okay. So one thing you can see, right, so in the message receiver class we are printing message received and the message we are printing, right. So as I told you, when we start this service, so consumer starts consuming the message from application, queue, right. If you go up little bit, it has it has consumed the message already, since the application is running fine. Okay. So okay, let's test this application. You can see this message is not present in the queue. If you before ready is having one message, right, with the total 1. So since it is already consumed by consumer, so you can see here consumer also, it means one consumer is there, it consumed the message, it is up and running. Okay. So let's test one more time. Okay, let's change the message. Hello RabbitMQ, sending message. Okay, let's hit the API. So we got the reply, since message is sent to the queue into queue. Here you can see in the console message is received. Hello RabbitMQ sending the message. So which we sent into producer sent the message to a queue. So from the queue message is consumed by message consumer. Okay. So this is how. So you can see here the graph, like pyramid. So it means the message has arrived and it is consumed. Now there is no message in the message queue because it is already consumed by consumer. So this is how we create a Spring Boot application with RabbitMQ. So thank you so much. Please subscribe my channel for more videos.